Welcome to the Precision Air Rifle channel. My name is Walter, and we're developing this channel for the purpose of people who enjoy shooting air rifles. I personally enjoy it. I never thought that they'd be as accurate as they are. I come from a powder burning background. I used to love reloading and target shooting. I still remember when Jeannie, my wife, and I got married, I bought her a wedding ring and I asked her what was in it for me. Sounds kind of selfish, but it really wasn't. She told me to go to the gun store and pick out the rifle I wanted. I went to the gun store, picked out a Winchester Model 70 .243 heavyweight varmint barrel rifle with a Macmillan synthetic stock. That rifle was a tack driver. My wife always had rifles that were as good as mine. Her rifle was a .243 Remington Model 700 heavyweight varmint rifle. And we'd always shoot on our days off. I enjoyed reloading, working up loads, and we had our own 100-yard shooting range in the backyard. We moved off the farm and we moved to North Carolina. Well, I couldn't shoot the rifles anymore, and last year I was looking around and I decided to try a pellet gun. Well, I bought one off of Amazon. I bought a Gamo, tried it. Really, it piqued an interest because it was fun, but it wasn't as accurate as I wanted. So I started looking around at air rifles, and I found an Air Arms S510 Sporter carbine. I purchased it from Airgun Depot. It was a great little rifle. I mounted up a Hawk 4-16 power Air Max scope on it. Shot it. And I was getting good groups. Took it to a field target range, my first one, and I shot a score for a first timer I was pleased with. And I was hooked on field target at that point. But that rifle just left a little bit for me to be desired because I couldn't quite get the level of accuracy that I wanted. Well, then I was introduced to the Daystate Red Wolf. And I thought, oh boy, that's a good rifle. I looked at it, I looked it up, tried watching some videos on it, and I decided on a 177 Red Wolf HP. I got it, I started shooting it with 10.34s on low power, and I was under the 20-pound limit for American field target shooting. Well, I got shooting it, and I decided to go up to 13 grain pellets. When I went up to 13 grain pellets, my energy rating went up over 21 foot-pounds. Well, I had to bring it down. Only way to do that with a Red Wolf HP is if you purchase a programmer from the dealer. Well, I purchased my rifle and I purchased the programmer from Air Guns of Arizona, learned how to program it. It wasn't hard, but I was able to bring my speeds down, and I brought my threshold under 20 foot-pounds of energy. I shot it, and man, I love shooting that rifle. It shoots so well. If I do my part, that rifle will deliver. And you may be asking, why am I holding a FX Wildcat Mark III in my arms? Well, we kind of go back to the old story of I have my rifle, Jeannie, my wife, has her rifles. And this is hers. We picked this rifle because it was a bullpup. It's light. The center of gravity is to the rear of the rifle, so it's a little bit easier to hold for her. It's accurate. And it has adjustability built into this rifle. It is a .177 caliber. It has a Hawk Air Max 4 to 16 power scope on it. It's got a Sidewinder scope mount, so I can put a camera on it. And it's got a Donnie FL suppressor on it. And it does shoot extremely well. We picked out the Hydra dipping for the stock. We found it at Utah Air Guns. We picked out this dip, and they custom dipped it for my wife. We were very fortunate because we bought it a couple months ago, and they actually had this one in stock. They just had to get the stock dipped in this pretty patriotic color scheme. It's a fantastic little rifle. I've shot it, but I haven't adjusted anything on it. It's exactly the way it came from Utah Air Guns. Only thing I've done with it is feed in some 10-34 JSBs, take it out, and shoot it. And at this point, I've shot it one time. My wife shot it a couple times. And at 20 yards, I can shoot one ragged hole that is smaller than a dime, and I can put in a full magazine full of pellets into that hole. So it's not a 5-shot, it's a full 21 pellet magazine. Very consistent. I'm looking forward to taking this to a field target match next year, just for fun. But I think it would be kind of neat to try it out and record shooting the match and share some of those shots with you. This rifle is going to be tested tomorrow because I don't know what it shoots for feet per second. I've got a lab radar. I'm going to, hopefully if the weather's good tomorrow, I'm going to take it out, take the lab radar out, and shoot some pellets. See where the energy rating is, and then if I have to adjust it, I'll make the appropriate adjustments to bring it under 20 foot-pounds. Then I'll go through the necessary steps of checking the sight in for 20, 30, 40, and 55 yards. So there is going to be a process tomorrow of shooting this if the weather holds out. And I may record some of it for you so that you can see how well this rifle shoots. My shooting, well, that leaves a little bit to be desired sometimes, but the rifle doesn't. I'm waiting on the rifle that I got specifically for this channel. It's possibly going to be in tomorrow, and it is an FX Impact 700 millimeter barrel in .22 caliber. I've got it coming in tomorrow. The only thing is, my scope all the accessories will be in next Wednesday. So I'm kind of on the hold right now because I'll have the rifle, I'll be able to look at it, but it's kind of like that little kid with the candy store. You can look in the candy store, but you can't really eat it. I can look at that rifle, but I can't shoot it. Once I get my stuff in, I am going to shoot it. Only problem is I won't be getting my slug liner for it. I was kind of disappointed on that. I was really looking forward to getting the slug liner because the FX is going to be built into a slug gun. And that's where my main interest is shooting slugs. I've built up a little bit of a supply with a number of different suppliers so we can look at different slugs. And in the vein of looking at the slugs, I'm going to take it like I did my reloading when I was shooting powder burners. I'm going to try to inch out every little bit of accuracy out of each of the slugs in that rifle. Whether that means adjusting the air pressure regulator, adjusting the valves, it's going to be tailored for each slug that I do. So those are some of the things that I'm looking forward to. We're also going to be doing some longer range shooting. I'm looking around where I live to try to procure a place where I can shoot 100-yard range. I'd love it if I could shoot a little bit more so I could test the slugs out at longer range. But if I can't, I'm hoping for 100 yards. I've got a 50-yard range at my house, but I don't have a longer range. So if I can't find it, we're going to be doing the majority of the beginning testing at 50 yards. When we get to the longer ranges, then I've got some interesting equipment that we're going to be introducing later that will help in the longer range shooting. The longer range shooting, I'm looking at some farms in the area to try to do some pesting. So we may record some pesting also. I think we can have a well-rounded channel that hopefully you'll enjoy watching. If you have any suggestions, please write them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Since we are new, we're going to be tailoring what we do to what you like and what I like. And I've already talked about what I like is the precision of developing a load in an air rifle. That is what really drives me on, is seeing how it performs, seeing how the pellets perform, or the slugs in the case that I'll be doing with the FX. But we do have a lot planned. Please stay tuned. Join us in our journey. Comments, please leave them. And we'll share what we get for information and our learning on this journey with you. Thank you for your time. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.